Hi, greetings to all. Welcome back to online classes. It's me, Gayatri again. Okay, today we are going to learn lesson 6 Middle Ages. Lesson 6 Middle Ages. The Roman Empire entered in 476 CE. 476 CE. The Turkish people captured Constantinople in 1453 CE. That is Common Era. So, from 476 CE to 1453 CE is known as Middle Ages. Okay, known as what? The Middle Ages. This Middle Ages has been further classified into three. Okay, that is early Middle Ages, Central Middle Ages, and later Middle Ages. Early Middle Ages, Central Middle Ages, and later Middle Ages. This is Central Middle Ages. It has another one name, High Middle Ages. Okay, High Middle Ages. Particularly in the early Middle Ages, two religions developed in the European continent. Two religions developed in the European continent. First one Christianity, second one Islam. First one Christianity and the second one Islam. In the Central Middle Ages, much development was there in different fields. First one, territorial expansion. Territories expanded. Territorial expansion. Second one is demographic expansion. What is that? Demographic expansion. That means the population increased. In some of the regions, the population increased leaps and bounds. Okay. And the third one is urban growth. That is cities developed. Cities developed. And fourth one, reconstruction of secular and ecclesiastical institutions. Okay, secular, that means non-religious. Ecclesiastical means religious. So, non-religious institutions as well as religious institutions developed. From 630 CE, okay, 630 CE to 1300 CE is considered as Arabian civilization. Arabian civilization developed. It is also known as Saracenic civilization. Arabian civilization is also known as what? The Saracenic civilization. It was the center of new religion. It was the center of new religion. And we can say that it was this new religion created social as well as intellectual changes. New religion created social as well as intellectual. Intellectual means arivu sarnathu. Okay, social as well as intellectual changes in the European continent. Seljuk Turks, set of people, Seljuk Turks, they were Tartars tribe, T-A-R-T-A-R, Tartars tribe. They were from Central Asia. The Seljuk Turks were from where? Central Asia. They established a powerful empire in Persia. Okay, powerful empire in Persia was established by these Seljuk Turks and they were from Central Asia. During their rule, art, architecture and literature developed. During their rule, art, architecture and also literature developed. The Ottoman Turkish people established an independent empire. They established an independent empire in Anatolia. Anatolia, that is Asia Minor. Asia Minor is also known as Anatolia. During Turkish rule, science and technology developed. Science and also technology developed. Okay. Next we are going to see China, Tang Dynasty. China, Tang Dynasty we are going to see. See, the Sui Dynasty ruled China for 40 years. For 40 years, Sui Dynasty ruled China. Then it collapsed. Many reasons were mainly responsible for this. We are going to study only two reasons. How many reasons we are going to study? Only two reasons. First one is they constructed one grand canal. From this we can understand that they are giving importance to agriculture. For the construction of this grand canal, they spend a large amount of money. Okay, so the treasury became empty. Okay, that is the financial burden came. This is one of the reasons. Second reason is spend more amount for wars also, and capturing, particularly capturing the northern part of Korea. Okay, like this, because of two reasons, the Tang dynasty was collapsed. The Tang dynasty started from widespread rebellions only. Widespread rebellions only. Li Yuan, okay, Li Yuan organized the rebellion. Li Yuan organized the rebellion. And this Li Yuan made another one person as the Emperor of China. As the Emperor of China. His name was Yang Yu. Yang Yu, okay, but Yang Yu was killed by one of the royal officials, okay. Yang Yu was killed by one of the royal officials. So Li Yuan himself proclaimed the emperor, okay, proclaimed the emperor. After that, several hundred kilometers of great wall was rebuilt. Understand, the great wall was rebuilt along the northwest frontier. Along the northwest frontier. Empire's influence was extended by this military expedition, particularly in three countries. Okay, the empire's influence was extended by the military expedition in three countries: Korea, Persia, and also Indochina. Korea, Persia, and also Indochina. The Tang dynasty undertook many public works. Many public works were done by this Tang dynasty. First one, two capital cities were built. Two capital cities were built. The first one, Boyang. Understand? First capital city, Boyang. Second one is Chang'an. Okay, Boyang. And second one, Chang'an. Next, second point is scholar officials trained in Confucius philosophy were appointed. Those who studied Confucius philosophy were appointed. Land was divided into small parts and given to the hands of the persons. So the persons were very happy. And agricultural surplus income that went to the state directly as taxes. Okay, tea and salt were under the direct control of the state. So this tea and salt added the revenue of the state. Okay, so like this, many works, public works were undertook by this Tang dynasty. Next, we will see Great Wall of China. What we are going to see, Great Wall of China. You all know it is one of the wonders of the world, Great Wall of China. It is one of the wonders of the world. First, between 8th to 7th centuries BC, 8th to 7th centuries BC, the varying states of China. Varying states means what? The states who fought against each other. So, varying states of China built defensive walls to protect themselves from north. Okay, from the north. So, during Qin dynasty, the separate walls were connected. So, from east to west, the length of the wall is 5,000 kilometers. Okay, 5,000 kilometers east to west, the length of the wall. Okay, next, this wall, already I said, considered as one of the 7 wonders of the world. And the wall was extended further. Again, the wall was constructed, that is extended further by other succeeding dynasties. Okay, next one. Now we will see that the length of this Great Wall of China is 6,700 kilometers. Okay, first 5,000 kilometers, now it is 6,700 kilometers. That is the length of the Great Wall of China. Next, Sung dynasty, S-U-N-G, Sung dynasty. The peasants who suffered a lot started a rebellion. Okay, started a rebellion under the leadership of Hung Cho. Understand? Started the rebellion under the leadership of Hung Cho. This rebellion paved the way for the death knell of the tottering Tang Empire. Tottering means shaking. Tottering Tang Empire. The empire divided into five states. Divided into five states. During Song dynasty, these states were united. Understand? These states were united. Trade and industry developed very nicely. Okay, trade and industry flourished. We can say like that. Iron and steel industry became highly organized. Iron and steel industry became highly organized. Now, fall of Song dynasty. What is there? Fall of Song dynasty. During Song dynasty, the landowners, officials, and the rich merchants led a luxurious life. They lived with prosperity. Understand? They lived with prosperity. But poor peasants suffered a lot, particularly poverty. Understand? Particularly poverty. And internal problems tried to start. Before that, two rebellions came out from north and entered the Song dynasty. Understand? Came out from the northern side and the Song dynasty came to an end. The Mongols established their role in the name of Yuan dynasty. The Mongols, they established their role in the name of which one? Yuan dynasty. Now we are going to see Yuan dynasty. Yuan dynasty, you know, the Mongols who captured Persia and Central Asia did not spare China. They came to China also. They came to China also. First they captured Persia and Central Asia. Again they came to China. In 1252, Mangu Khan became the greatest Khan. Okay, greatest Khan. And he appointed Kublai Khan as the governor of China. Okay, Mangu Khan became a greatest Khan and he appointed Kublai Khan as the governor of China. The Mongol presence spread from one end of Eurasia to another. You know, Eurasia, Europe and Asia together known as Eurasia. So, this Mongol presence spread from one end of Eurasia to another. It spreads Chinese technological advances to the less developed societies in the West. Less developed societies in the West. The Mongol court in Beijing. Now Beijing is the capital of China. Okay, Beijing is the capital of China. The Mongol court in Beijing was impressed Marco Polo. The Mongol court in Beijing impressed Marco Polo. He was a foreigner. Okay, but poverty was there. Poverty was continued. Now, the religious sects as well as secret societies started the revolts. The religious sects as well as these secret societies started a revolt. Finally, the leader of Red Turbans one organization. Okay, the leader of Red Turbans, Chu Yuan Chong. So, the leader of the Red Turbans, Chu Yuan Chong, captured Mongol capital Beijing. Okay, captured Mongol capital Beijing and proclaimed himself emperor in 1369. Okay, he announced himself as the emperor in 1369. Next we will see Ming Empire, M-I-N-G, Ming Empire. The Mongols were replaced by the Ming Empire. Mongols were replaced, that means after this Mongols, this Ming Empire came. The Ming Empire gave much importance to agriculture. They did not concentrate the industry as well as foreign trade. No concentration was there in industry as well as foreign trade. So, in the 16th century, China lagging behind. Understand that is China lagging behind. Followed Chinese techniques, other parts of Eurasia began to develop. Chinese techniques were followed by other parts of Eurasia and it developed very nice. Next, we will see Japan. Okay, Japan. The original name of Japan was Yamato. Yamato. Original name of Japan was Yamato. Many ancestors of Japan came from Korea and Malaysia. Okay, the ancestors of Japan came from Korea as well as Malaysia. Through Korea, okay, through Korea only, Chinese civilization reached Japan. Chinese civilization reached Japan through Korea only. The original inhabitants of this Japan was Ainus. Okay, Ainus. Ainus were the original inhabitants of Japan. The original religion of Japan was Shinto. Understand Shinto religion. This is Shinto religion is a mixture of nature and ancestor worship. Nature as well as ancestor worship. That is the Shinto religion. Japan was isolated for many centuries. And isolated means what? Time separated. Okay. So Japan was free from foreign invasions. Then all the people of Japan they lived independent. That is freely. Through Korea, the Buddhism came to Japan. Buddhism came to Japan through Korea only. In Japan, the leading families, okay, the leading families, royal families fought against each other to gain power. In order to get power, they fought against each other. Their emperor was Mikado. Their emperor was Mikado. He was an autocrat. He was an autocrat. But he was a puppet in the hands of some of the royal families. Okay. He was a puppet in the hands of some of the royal families. The Shoga family. The Shoga family is the first family controlled the state. The Shoga family is the first family controlled the state. Okay, now Shotoku Taishi, Japanese name Shotoku Taishi was the leader. Shotoku Taishi was the leader. He made the central government very strong. Okay, this is Shotoku Taishi. He was the leader and he made the central government very strong. After the death of this Shotoku Taishi, after the death of Shotoku Taishi, his family was driven out. His family was driven out by Nakotam no Kamatari. Nakotam no Kamatari. This Nakotam no Kamatari founded one family that is known as the Fujiwara family. Understand the Fujiwara family. This Kamatari followed Chinese methods. Kamatari followed Chinese methods and made the central government further strong. Okay, made the central government further strong. Nara was the capital. Okay, N-A-R-A. Nara was his capital. From 794 CE, Kyoto became his capital. This Kyoto became the capital for more than 1,000 years. After that, this Tokyo became the capital. Now also the capital of Japan, that is Tokyo only. This Fujiwara family emperors, okay, Fujiwara family emperors, in later years, they went to monasteries. Monasteries means Madalayangar, and they lived as monks. Okay, monks means that Turavikat. Okay, so they went to monasteries and lived like monks only. Fujiwara families ruled for more than 200 years. How many years? More than 200 years. In that time, a new class of large landholders emerged. A new class of large landholders emerged. These landholders were military men. Okay, these landholders were military men. They were called daimyos. Daimyos means lords in Tamil Prabhukkal. Okay, Prabhukkal. The daimyos became powerful with their armies. Daimyos became powerful with their armies. Finally, a battle started in between two families. That is a Tara family and Minamoto family. Okay, Tara family and Minamoto family. Finally, in this battle, Yoritomo got success. Okay, Yoritomo got success. In 1192 CE, 1192 CE, that is Common Era, the emperor gave him a title. Okay, emperor gave him a title, Saitong Shogun. Okay, what's the title? Saitong Shogun. Saitong Shogun. The title means barbarian subducting great general. Okay, barbarian subducting great general. That is பண்பாடற்றவர்களை அடக்கிய மாபெரும் தளபதி. What is that? பண்பாடற்றவர்களை அடக்கிய மாபெரும் தளபதி. The title had full power to rule hereditarily. Okay, hereditarily, paramparaya. The shogun became the real ruler. Okay, shogun became the real ruler. Like this, the rule of the shogunate began. The rule of the shogunate began. Yoritomo established his military capital at Kamakura. Okay, this Yoritomo established his military capital at Kamakura. So the first shogunate is called the Kamakura shogunate. Understand the Kamakura shogunate because his military capital was Kamakura. Japan followed China in all spheres of life. Japan followed China in all spheres of life, but in its own way. Understand? In its own way. The emperor became the ceremonial head. Emperor became the ceremonial head. Feudal military government was there. Feudal military government was there. The government was administered by samurai. Government was administered by samurai. Samurai means warriors. Samurai means what? Warriors. The Mongols changed the history of Asia and they terrified Europe also. Changed the history of Asia and terrified the continent of Europe also. But these Mongols were defeated by Japan under this shogunate. Okay, these Mongols were defeated by Japan under this shogunate. Yet the decline of this shogunate started, and in 1338 CE Common Era, the Kamakura shogunate entered. Kamakura shogunate entered in 1338 CE. See, a new line of shogunate came to power after that. After that, a new line of shogunate came to power. That is known as Ashikaga shogunate. What is that? Ashikaga shogunate. This Ashikaga shogunate ruled for 235 years. How many years? 235 years. This was the period of conflict and war. Okay, this was the period of conflict as well as war. Finally, 3 men rescued, that is protected Japan from civil war. Okay, Japan was protected from civil war by 3 men. They were first one Borbunaga. Understand Borbunaga. Second person Hideyoshi. Understand Hideyoshi. Third person was Tokugawa Ieyasu. Okay, Tokugawa Ieyasu. These were the 3 persons. They protected this Japan from the civil war. Among these, this Borbunaga was a daimyo, Prabhu only. And Hideyoshi, he was a peasant. This Tokugawa Ieyasu, okay, was one of the distinguished nobles. Distinguished means famous. Distinguished nobles. By the end of the 16th century, the whole of Japan was united again. Okay, by the end of 16th century, whole of Japan was united again. Okay, with this, I'll finish today's session and I'll meet you in the next session. Prepare all the one-word answers and study nicely. Bye, children.